Hello there. Welcome to my lifting moment with Rume Daniels. I trust all is well with you and that you're making progress with your life. Of grit, grace, and profiting. That's what I'd love to share with you right now. Of grit, grace, and profiting. Let's get into that quickly. Apostle Paul, also who's a barrister, once said in the Holy Book, he says, by the grace of God, I am what I am. He says, the grace of God that was given to me was not in vain. Surely it worked so much in me to the end that I labored more abundantly than them all. Now this is interesting. To understand the correlation between profiting and grace, you have to understand the dimension of grace with effect to the ability to cause us to work harder than anyone else. So it's impossible to profit from our passions, our talents, our abilities, our potentials without grit. Yes, but it is the grace that helps us to maximize and experience that grit. Anyway, what is grit? Grit is resolve and courage. It is the strength of character. That's what grit is. And grace, it is divine enabling. It's divine influence, all right, that comes upon a man that causes such a human to operate in realms beyond the natural ability. So when the apostle says, by the grace of God, I am what I am, and by this grace, I labored more abundantly than them all. That is a manifestation of grace that influences the human abilities to maximize its full capacity. Yes. You know what? Grace has the dimension that comes with resilience, the capacity to keep walking in spite of all the challenges that we will be facing. And that is very important. Despite every obstacle, this is what grit does for us. It helps us to keep going. It helps us to keep at what we are born to do, at what we're founded to do. Don't forget, in all labor, there is profit. In all labor, there is profit, the Holy Book says. But to enjoy that profit, we must keep at working at what we have discovered. For the treasure in every earthen vessel must first be discovered, and when it is discovered, it must be developed. All these take time. It takes grit. It takes resilience. It takes patience to overcome every hurdle and every obstacle. I've seen people give up easily. I'm sure you have too. And maybe you have given up on a few projects here and there. But when you find out what it is you are born to do, you must stay with it. You must apply pressure to it until it brings forth its increase. Yes, this is the dimension of the supernatural collaboration. That there is a release of grace from the one who created us, but there is the call for resolve, for dedication and commitment. Despite every obstacle, there is that which we ought all to do before we begin to see any form of profiting. So this is important. It calls for stamina, it calls for staying power, it calls for commitment, dogged and never-ending commitment. It calls for that. All right? We're none of them that start some sort of business today and then give up tomorrow because it hasn't begun to produce yet. Well, there are some things that produce overnight. I grew up in a house, for instance, where you could go to bed in the morning and then at night rather, and in the morning when you wake up, you will see mushrooms at your kitchen door because it took just 6 hours for mushrooms to grow. So if you were going to be a mushroom farmer and you wanted to take mushroom to the marketplace, undoubtedly you would be able to harvest your crop and take it to the marketplace every 6 hours overnight. But you know what? If you are a person whose work is meant to produce much results, then undoubtedly you would need to stay with what it is you are born to do. You will need to stay with what you are born to do. And that's why you cannot give up. That's why you can't give up. That's what grit does. It allows for predictable success. It allows you to stay on one path until proven successful. And this is something that we call to everyone listening to this, watching this, who is almost giving up on something that looks like it's not working. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. It will produce its own. Thank you for listening to this. And I pray for, staying power. I stay for stamina, for an enduring marathon and not just an overnight dash. Like I said, if you're going to harvest mushroom, you do it in 6 hours. But if you're going to grow an iroko tree, if you're going to grow an oak tree, it takes 60 years. Right? I'm not saying that you need 60 years to harvest. I'm only saying that longevity produces, strength. It produces transgenerational wealth. And that is exactly what the Creator, desires of us. That we do not give up. We should stay with what He sent us to do. God bless you. Bye.